Hey there. So, I had this project to do with this leaky faucet. It was leaking, it was just like pouring out leaking, and so was the hot water. As you can see, this was down in the basement, so, we don't use it. We didn't know. And if we do use it, it's like we have to rebuild it because it's old. But anyway, so we were having a leak here, and we thought the leak was behind here. So we did do some work behind there. We thought we fixed it, but then this started leaking, and it started getting worse, and it was leaking up there. And so what we were doing was while it was leaking, we had to turn okay, these are the steps you have to do. Nobody told me this. I'm not an instructor. I'm just winging it. So you have to turn off your water in the whole house. So you have to find out where is the main water pipe where the water is coming into the house. So all the water is shut off. Once you shut off the water, then my goal was to go in here and find out what was leaking here. And it was affecting up there. So as I was trying to get this off, I stripped the screw. Where is it? I stripped it. And I'm going to tell you the secret that they didn't tell me about what you need to fix this. I looked at a lot of YouTube videos. Maybe I didn't see the right ones, but they didn't explain everything because mine is totally different. It's similar, but different. Because I did find a shower that was like similar to this one, but it was a slight difference, and I'll tell you that. But I'm going to tell you too, the tools they didn't mention. How come they didn't mention these tools? They mentioned every other tool, all this other stuff, but they didn't mention some key tools that you can use and you can go find. And I'll mention that a little bit later. I'll get to it, but let me tell you the steps. So I was trying to unscrew this because it was a faucet. It was like the handle, and I was trying to unscrew it. And what happens is, let me start from the beginning. Okay, this is the original one. And it had a cap on it that goes over it like that. And then you got to pop that off, right? So, and when you pop that off, then you get to the screw. So I got to the screw, and this was on there like that. And so when I went in there with the screwdriver, mine was a Phillips screwdriver, which is the one that looks like that. That's a Phillips. Not this, not the regular. So I went in there with the Phillips and was trying to unscrew it, and I stripped it because I think the hot water kind of like, I don't know what it did, but it did something to the screw where it just like stripped it easily. Like it felt like almost like it was like not putty, but it was just like an easy, like kind of like, wow. And then so now the cold water, I had no problem with that. But the problem was really with the hot water. The cold water, the reason I was trying to do the cold water is because in the YouTube videos, they were saying if you change one, you should change both. That way they both will be equally, okay. So later on, you won't have problems with the other one. So my goal was to change both of them. Not only that, all of these are different in the inside. This little piece here is different in a lot of other showers. So you have to get in there and take that one out to find out what type of piece you need to replace it with, because there's so many of them. So I went in there and I stripped it, right? So it took me days. First I went to a big chain store, and I was looking at YouTubes and trying to figure out how to fix stripped screws. I am not a mechanic. I am not savvy with tools. So come on, we had to keep it simple. And this didn't keep it simple. They were talking about all this other stuff with the power tools and all that. I don't have all that. I just have like your basic tools, that I can just like go in there with and try to do it, right? So it was just a whole big thing. So finally, I figured out I needed this piece, and this is the original. This is actually from the cold water one. So the problem was, if you see there, up there, there's like a little washer there that's black, and it's a little cruddy there too. That washer wears out. So then when it wears out, then it starts leaking. The hot water one, which was the leaky one, was this one. And look at the washer. It's all the way down. So yeah, compared to, look at the comparison. See the comparison? So this was the cold water one. That was the cold water one. And that was the hot water one. And this was the one, the hot water one was giving me the problems. As you can see, the washer, the black washer was worn out. It was practically gone. So, and it was wobbly too in there. So, when I was looking at the YouTube video, they were saying that you had to take all these pieces off and there's putty in there. Now, when you take this off, by the way, you have to do it in such a way where you have to pull on it, like kind of equally around the back of it. They suggest to use a towel or use something where you don't hurt your fingers on the edges of here. So you need to just like pull on it, like keep pulling around it, and it'll finally come off, because these tend to get stuck on there after time. So it does come off, and it takes 10 minutes sometimes, but it will come off. So you have to be patient with it and just work your way around the edges with both hands and pull on it. You know what I mean? And pull like on these edges. Pull around, but with both hands at the same time. Pulling it off. And it will come off. It just takes time. So I did that, and it finally came off, and I was happy about that. That was like one step. Then, unfortunately, this one's still stripped, right? So I just said, you know what? I'm just going to have to sacrifice this piece and buy some new pieces, because that's not going to come off. And so what I did was I took this and I attached it to it, and I went the opposite way, because I'm just, I just said I'm just going to replace the whole thing. Now, another thing I did see a video where they do tell you that you can sort of replace this piece by piece, or just that little washer part there. But this was so old, I just said, I need to replace the whole thing, brand new. So what I did was, this dismantles in separate pieces, like these. Like this is a separate piece, that one, and this one. And this piece here, I thought was a L shape, but it's actually just a straight ahead piece where you just have to unscrew it. And so this is all the pieces as in one. So what I did was I just put it on there, and then you turn it, and it'll screw on there. It should screw on there nicely. I was about to say, now it's going to make me out to be a liar. The new piece is already in there. Let me go back. See the new piece? That's the new one. That was an easy screw. Let me show you some other things. I know I'm like just all over the place, but I'm just happy right now because I'm about to, get that fixed and get this whole thing fixed up. So this piece here is the piece right there. And you have to make sure that's screwed on, right? Has to be screwed in there. This has to be screwed on there. There's a washer that goes on the end. So all of it has to be nice and tight. And what I'm doing now is just making sure that it's on there nice and tight. We don't want any more leakage anymore, especially with my new stuff on there, right? And let's see, I almost got it tight. I started to set up my tripod for the camera. I'm just doing this camera real quick. So I was able to screw that on. So these two pieces are screwed on in nicely, because I had to screw that one on, and now I'm screwing that one. That second piece, which is that. So that's how it screwed on there. It screws on like that, right? So now that that piece is on there, because I had to screw the whole thing up in there. Now I'll put this over it. Now in some of the videos, mine doesn't have, it's not in there with putty. Some of the other videos have it where you have to take putty out and put the putty back in. Mine isn't like that. Mine is just a protruding shower that somebody just threw up here when, you know, before we bought the house, and threw it all up here, and it's been like that. And now we're trying to, you know, revamp it. I'm just fixing it now, so later we're going to take this off, replace all this piece here and all this stuff, so because it's like moldy and cruddy and everything, so we're going to replace all that. But the thing is, I'm happy to get this piece on because it was just a hole in there, and no putty, ain't got to worry about that. But some videos, they want you to do the putty. And then this piece screws on, because it screws on right there, I believe. Well, I'm sorry. It screws on, if you look, right up in here, this part. Not there, this part. So, we're going to put that like that. Right? Because this is our second bathroom. We have one upstairs. This is like the backup bathroom. And so we just want to get this bathroom together so we can tend to use 2 bathrooms at one time if we have to. Because there's a lot of people in this house. There we go. So that's screwed on. Right? Now, we're going to put the handle on. This handle, I broke it earlier. I broke it off. I can't use it. I'm going to throw it out. The mate to it is also there. So we're going to get the new handle. And the new handle should, that piece there, see the little wedges in there, should fit right on to there. See that? That's going to fit on there. Like that. So, make sure that fits on there. And then we're going to take our screw. And luckily I have like a screwdriver that has like it's a magnetic kind of screwdriver with a magnetic tip. We're going to screw it on like that. And like I said, like that, right? Now, you know what? Let me back this up. The thing they didn't tell me, because before I got this, when I got this off, the thing they didn't tell me, hold up, let me unscrew it again. I'm sorry, I'm just all over the place. Finally. So, the thing they didn't tell me, because when I was at the point to where I just had this, right, and I had to screw this off, there's another piece that you can use to unscrew. Okay, before I knew I could screw this off, I was trying to figure out how can I get in there because I thought this piece wouldn't come off. So, something I forgot to mention. So I was wondering, was there any specific tools that I could use? And so everybody's talking about monkey wrenches and screwdrivers and everything. But then I come to find out this does have a specific tool to use. And it's called a socket wrench set. A 5-piece socket wrench set for pipes, for like showers. And it fits like that. It fits right on there. Look at that. Well, not that one. Hold up. Wrong one. There we go. I think it's this one. See? It fits on there. So screw it. Maybe that's not the size. But it comes like that with another piece. And the whole piece looks like that. That's the box. 5-piece socket wrench set. Heavy duty. And it's usually for work like this, for, you know, for shower faucets, you know, shower hot and cold faucet setters. And it comes with this piece. And the way you work it is you put the piece like that over it, over the socket, and you stick this in there. You put it over the socket like that. And then you stick this piece in the hole here, and then you turn it whichever way you want to do it, clockwise, whatever. Now, depending on how deep it is, you can do it to where it'll be sort of like that. And if not, in my case, I had to do it halfway and use it halfway. And if that doesn't work, say if there is a problem using this, then you can go ahead and use your, you know, pliers and wrench and whatever, and then adjust it that way and then turn it. And it'll untighten. So they didn't tell me about that. The 5-piece socket wrench set for this particular job, because it has like these, like, you know, what is it, hectagons or something gons, you know, shapes. The other sets that I ended up buying, which I'm going to take back, they cost $30, and this costs $30, by the way, $30 at a hardware store. Go to any, I would say go to a ma and pa, or mom and pop, or ma and pa hardware store and get this, because that's where I found it. And they may sell it at some other place, but I didn't see it, and no one told me. The people that work there, they didn't tell me. And of course, people that work there are kind of like teenagers and young adults, and what do they know, right? The guy that told me this, that dude was about 60, 70 years old. I would say about 70. He was an old cat, but he was very helpful. He knew right away. He knew this was old. He knew it had been leaking for a while. He knew it all, because he said he had been dealing with these for years. So they didn't tell me about that. Go figure. So this one I already put on. That one's fine. It's fine. But the water is off. But, you know, that's just probably, I didn't, you know, open it up all the way. In the other YouTube videos of other people, they'll give you the fine details about when you should open something, where you should place a washer, where you should do that. I'm just overall winging it, telling you what happened in my situation with this. You know, this is a brand new one. I had already put it on. I already tried it. It was working. And I'm going to put this back together. I'm just happy to get this done. And I did it myself. You know what I mean? And it feels good if you can do projects yourself without calling the plumber or calling a professional. And you get the same result where, you know, you just want it fixed. That's all. I just wanted to, you know, I didn't ask for much. So I screwed that back on. So that's back on. And then I'm going to put the knob back on. I don't know why I couldn't say the word knob earlier. The knobs back on. And remember, it is, let me get the magnet screwdriver to, so I can, because if you notice it's kind of deep in there. It's kind of deep. And so the magnet screwdriver helps a lot. So let's see. Let me get that on there. And then we're gonna Place that back on, just like a puzzle piece, and then screw it back on. And I didn't want to do too much because I had just fixed it. I was so excited about it because when you're fixing something, like I just said, let me put this on YouTube because nobody told me. Nobody, I was looking for certain instructions. I'm so happy I didn't have to put any more putty down and stuff like that. I'm taking that putty back. I'm taking that stuff I bought from this big chain place, hardware place. I'm taking all that stuff back because I don't need it. So, boom, boom. And then the last piece to go on will be that. And then that just caps it off. And there you have it. Boom. Fix. Now what I'm going to do is turn on the water, the main, faucet, the main water. Hold on. So, main water is back on. No leaks like I had before. Let's test it out. There we go. It's working. That side's working. That side's working. So, I did it. I did it. Yes. Yes. And I didn't have to call a plumber. And it cost me what? It cost me about what, 30, about $50 doing it myself. Get it back to where it's working. It wasn't leaking a minute ago. But yeah, got it back. And that's all that counts. Next, I gotta fix that toilet. If you can hear all that water running. Yeah, because what happened in there is now that like there's a little flap that's not covering the cover so it can fill up with water. That'll be another DIY. All right. Hope it was helpful because no one told me about the socket set. Yeah, that was the big secret, the socket set. No one told me about it. So yeah, for all the fine details about cleaning it and the washer and the parts, because there's videos about you can replace the whole piece or you can replace just the pieces, like certain pieces that may be not working, and it'll come out, be more cost effective for people instead of spending $30 on the whole. I mean, not $30, but I think these were like $12 a piece. Instead of spending $12, maybe you just need to spend $2 or something. Or maybe you just need to spend a couple of bucks on the washer only. Because some of you might have some more updated, one of these. And just need to replace the washer on the end. This is old. I don't know how old it is, but it's really old. It's over 15 years. I know that. It's over 18 years. 18 years, yeah. It's over 18 years old. So, and that's, that's when we acquired the house. So, I hope it was helpful. Subscribe, comment. I have more videos up, hopefully that are helpful. So, peace. See you later.